The song Let It Go is much more easily understood, I think, by taking the next step and examining it as primarily a song about jealousy and envy. The frozen universe is a reversed one. It's dominated by this magical ice that gets into people's eyes and hearts and reverses their perceptions of what's really going on. But this seems to be actively employed by and understood by the characters in the film. Olaf breaks off an icicle as Hans comes toward, or as Kristoff comes running toward him and Anna. Holds it up. He seems to know that ice works this way and it distorts people's vision. The main people who have their perceptions distorted are the audience of the film, who are placed inside this psychopathic, narcissistic, reversed perception universe. And one of the prime things they come away thinking, after having seen this film, is how cool it would be to be Elsa, because she's got all the cool powers. Well, literally, she does have the cool powers. She's associated with winter. But Anna also has powers. And they work better in terms of being described by the lyrics of the song Let It Go than Elsa's powers do. Elsa, when she sings this song, has just been put in a highly jealousy-inducing situation. Anna's gone out on a few hours' notice and come back with a guy saying, I'm ready to marry him. Which, of course, Elsa's not so good at. She's not such a warm person. She's a winter person, not a summer one like Anna. And so Anna is making a play to get the kingdom. She's demonstrating, I can produce an heir, I can marry somebody, I can make alliances, even in just a few hours. Well, maybe he's not the best guy to get for the purpose. He's 13th in line for his throne, but at least he's a guy. And when they confront each other, Anna pulls off Elsa's glove. And that is highly symbolic, both before and after. Because when her father says, conceal, don't feel, and put the glove on, she's being told not only to not feel, not let the cold out, but not let the heat in. And Anna is the source of the heat, although Elsa doesn't completely know it. She's told by the trolls that fear will be your enemy, and this is another almost pun. They could say fire will be your enemy, because fear is always represented by hot fire colors. And Anna's the one who produces the fire, although Elsa doesn't seem to know it. It's a tremendously effective way of trolling someone, messing with somebody's head, because the trolls are acting like it's Elsa's the only one god who has the powers. And they remove Anna's knowledge of them. But at the same time, they're essentially removing Elsa's knowledge of the fact that Anna has powers, because they're paying all the attention to removing what's been done to Anna, covering it up. And there's another tremendous irony of this that's alluded to in the song, because Elsa's always being told to conceal and don't feel. There's a part of her, if she acts like the psychopath pretending to be a narcissist, that at least pretends to want to be punished. When she's brought into the trolls, she isn't punished. Anna's punished, but in a way so that she won't remember that she's been punished. And she is given the exact thing Elsa wanted. Oblivion. Not knowing that you've got a competitor out there who the next time the seasons change is going to take everything you have. Elsa has this dim, partial revelation that there's something out there, someone perhaps out there that she should be afraid of, but she doesn't quite know who it is. And that's even worse, because you don't know exactly what it is that you fear. Anna is left blissfully unaware. She remembers the fun they had. That's all she remembers. She doesn't remember that she had it with someone who has a set of powers that are in direct opposition to hers, and who will want to kill her, and who did try to kill her. This runs all the way through the song. Let it go. All the things that Elsa is jealous of, or envious especially of Anna for having, are all in the song. Let it go. And envy is a prime characteristic of narcissism. When she talks about conceal, don't feel, Anna's the one who's concealed. But she gets to feel. at least physically. She doesn't feel love because that part of her psyche seems to be shut off after the first shot in the head. But when there's a conceal don't seal situation, when the gates open and Elsa's worried about everybody coming in and seeing what she's really like, Anna goes the opposite way. Best defense is a good offense. She goes straight out the gates while everybody's coming in, goes out and feels up everybody and everything. Not worrying at all that she'll be found out because it's her season. It's summer. Her powers don't show up because they're part of the natural background of things. Whereas Elsa constantly wants to be changing, taking over all the season. So every season will be like hers. And at the end, this is an expression of envy of Anna and perhaps also Rapunzel, because she says, "Here I stand." Elsa says, "Here I stand in the light of day." When you're the Snow Queen, when you're the Winter one, you come out publicly when your power is at its maximum, and that's in the middle of winter and over 60 degrees north, practically at the Arctic Circle. There's hardly any daylight at all in the middle of winter, at least in the climatic sense. So that's one thing that she seems to crave. It's what Anna gets. She's associated with the lights. Anna is one with the wind and the sky. She feels connected to the sky because she's fire-based. That's the highest you can get without getting into Rapunzel's area of expertise or area of rulership. And she also can change things. She's a transmuter, an alterer, and one of those capabilities is to produce sudden bursts of wind. Maybe not on the same scale Elsa does, unless she's secretly doing it and blaming Elsa for it. But when they're in front of the fire, Olaf and herself, and Olaf is about to melt, all of a sudden the shutters burst open and a cold burst of wind blows in. Doesn't seem too likely that Elsa did it. That leaves Anna. When we talk about all sorts of lines in the film, really, Let It Go itself is about what it's like to want to be free of envy and jealousy. In Othello, a classic play, Shakespeare talks about jealousy. It says, "It is the green-eyed monster that mocks the meat it feeds on. It plays with its victims like a cat playing with a mouse. It bats it around for a while, and then the mouse will finally recover and try to stagger away and think it's free, and the cat will catch it and drag it back in again." That is the one characteristic of people who are gripped by jealousy and envy. Something gnaws at them and they can't let go. Anna lets go over and over and over again. She actually does the thing that Elsa continually tries to convince herself she can do by repeatedly singing it. Elsa builds a bridge across a chasm. Anna, if she has to, just drops into one. Doesn't care. She's so tough, she doesn't care if she'll ever hit bottom, although it's always disguised. She never actually hits the ground. She'd probably bounce like the Incredible Hulk if she did, but it never gets shown. She's concealed by the circumstances. And when the marshmallow pulls her and Kristoff up by the rope and says, "Go away," sure, got the rope and she's gone. No problem. She lets herself and Kristoff go. And this is, of course, what Anna can't, or what Elsa can't do. I always keep confusing the two of them because they're parts of the same coin. But, yeah, that's what happens.